The Mandela Catalog has hit YouTube and the horror community by storm. Well, at least by the looks of my own YouTube recommendations and subscription feed, since I tend to follow all things spooky and strange. The Mandela Catalog is a short-form YouTube series created by Alex Kister. Many popular YouTubers are reacting to and analyzing these videos, from Corey X Kenshin, Markiplier,
I mean, I freaking love this type of stuff. What?
Jacksepticeye,
Oh, I hate this.
and a film theory episode discussing the lore of the series. The first video was uploaded in June 2021, and the most popular one in the series has already hit 3 million views as of January 2022. And Volume 2 is out now, and with more likely on the way, this shows just how quickly these videos have gained support and even a cult following. As I watched the series myself, and my favorite YouTubers reacting to them, I thought, why these videos? What really makes them so interesting and unsettling? I found these videos to be very unnerving, and I believe they're an effective horror narrative. But why? And why now? What makes the series work so well? Why are we so fascinated with it? First off, if you like horror, or this interests you in any way, and you have yet to see the Mandela Catalog series, please first watch the videos on the creator's channel. There's a link in the description below, and they're a quick watch. Here's your spoiler alert if you haven't already seen them, as I will be talking about the series and its themes. At the time of this recording, the most recent video to have been released is Volume 2. To briefly summarize this fictional horror series, the main focus of the Mandela Catalog is a collection of police training videos and found footage about Mandela County being plagued by entities called alternates. There are also videos regarding an unknown intruder that kidnaps children from their home, and cartoon-style animations depicting an imposter posing as the angel Gabriel and interacting with Christian religious figures. All these videos are in the analog horror style that emulates the style of pre-digital media like cable television and cassette tapes. Now, what makes these videos so effective and unsettling? Well, with any movie or show, there's the story and how it's presented. I want to talk about the style of the Mandela Catalog videos first, because I feel like that is what really makes this series stand out. If not well executed, a scary story can be dull or even goofy at times.
What? No.
Any scary movie or book can have a terrifying concept, but can be ruined by a horrible execution. Many movies nowadays have huge budgets, but the Mandela Catalog doesn't rely on expensive CGI to create a hyper-realistic monster to scare you. In fact, there was basically zero budget, with all the found footage being shot on Kister's own iPhone, and he recorded any speaking parts himself or with family and friends.
Who are you? Get away from me!
The series is part of the analog horror subgenre. There are some other standouts on YouTube with this style, like Local 58 TV and The Walton Files, and in fact, they helped inspire Kister. The Mandela Catalog has stylized editing to make the visuals look low-res and feel like they physically exist on a tape, and sound design riddled with perfectly timed audio glitches.
And then there'd be nothing there. Nothing there.
This style induces a sense of nostalgia for some of us, and for me personally, reminds me of my childhood, when we had to scramble to find an unused VHS tape to record something we wanted to watch again. To me, in this analog style, we are meant to feel like a previously oblivious outsider looking in. Now that we have uncovered this found footage, we are interacting with it, like a character in the story. And now we have a personal and more visceral experience with these videos than with something more detached and cinematic. In some cases, the videos are even shown as if the alternate is trying to communicate with the audience directly, with frightening images appearing throughout the videos. There are also no real jump scares in the videos, but we feel uneasiness as we go through the series because our interaction with them feels intimate. To further increase the intimate feel of the videos, in Volume 2 we are introduced to 2 new characters that are navigating the world that has been set up in the videos that preceded it. Volume 2 includes handheld footage from Adam and Jonah, including their car dashcam, putting us into their perspective. They seem like normal people that have heard about the alternates and the intruder, but never really encountered them until now. They are skeptical of the reports at first,
and who's to say that she's not even crazy?
But once interacting with them in person, they become frightened, like we would be.
but this right here is real.
They were ones who didn't believe the infographic by the mayor, as they said, which is probably something similar to the ones that we've seen in the series. And now they, themselves, become unsuspecting victims, previously once bystanders like us. The analog style functions effectively and creates a great vessel in which to tell these stories. Now for the subject matter of the series. Each of these three main storylines are compelling, and each exploits a specific fear. The series' focal points are the alternates, the intruder, and the false prophet. First, the alternates. These entities are hostile supernatural beings that resemble a human, but don't always look exactly right. In the videos Volume 1 and The Think Principle, they are shown with enlarged eyes, long arms, and so on. Actually, I've yet to see one in the videos that is upside down like the third example. Like, do they walk with their hands? Is the whole body facing you when it walks? Or is it backwards and the head bends all the way back up in a grudge-like, contorted fashion? That would probably be much creepier. Also, what I thought was a little fun fact is that analog is a synonym for counterpart or twin. So it's an interesting play on words which I'm not sure was intentional or not for Kister. Anyway, the alternates and the images we are shown of them hit that uncanny valley feeling, which refers to the phenomenon of us feeling uneasy when we encounter something that so closely resembles a human, but we know is not. The alternates induce paranoia, making us question which humans are indeed human. The main movie I think of when I think about this type of horror is The Thing. In the movie, the characters are never truly aware of who is still human and who has been replaced by the alien. Even the audience is unaware. This incites panic and chaos, much like what happens in the Mandela Catalog.
That was one of those things out there, trying to imitate him, Gary.
Back to the series, the alternates cannot physically harm their victims, but instead prey on the human psyche and fill their victims with existential dread by telling them things about the universe that might be too much for a human to comprehend. These existential fears lead to the victim feeling isolated and even worthless. When one of the characters in the series, Mark Heathcliff, says that even after being taunted by an alternate for days, nobody has come to help him. The creator has said that the series is an interpretation of the isolation he's felt during quarantine. We have been stuck in our homes for almost 2 years now, and we've all been overwhelmed with the uncertainty during this unsettling time. It's understandable that after all this time, we would feel uncomfortable after being confined in our homes that we were previously accustomed to. There can even be a connection made to the paranoia that ensues because of the alternates, and the paranoia we have about the virus we have been coping with for the last couple of years. The next topic of the series is the intruder that breaks into homes and steals children. Like the alternates, he seemingly uses the television to interact with the family he has chosen to attack. Mark Heathcliff, one of the victims, sees a mysterious figure on the television in one of the installments, and the figure is shown again on a TV in Volume 2. This shows that even in our homes and other safe spaces, we are at risk. Even with our doors locked, the intruder can invade the house via television or any medium that might project frightening imagery, as described in the Intruder Alert video. We are currently in a time where more hours have been spent in front of the television than ever before, as we are cooped up in our homes. The videos show a couple in their home, and when their child is crying in another room, are told not to enter the room until the baby has stopped crying. This suggests that there is no hope to save the child once the intruder is in the room. The mother is then shown entering the room, and the child is gone, with the intruder's face being shown on the television. After one of these kidnappings occur, we are shown photos of an invisible force at the crime scene, showing that we wouldn't even know when our homes have been compromised and an evil entity is already among us. The last narrative thread is religion-focused and presented with animations that show a false prophet in the form of an alternate angel Gabriel. By the way, these animations are from the 90s cartoon The Beginner's Bible, which have been edited by Kister for his series. This fake Gabriel is shown appearing to Mary, Noah, and the shepherds.
I am the angel Gabriel.
This indicates that since the beginning, the religion of Christianity has been tainted by an alternate and seized, with this pretender being at the reins. It is also implied that Gabriel's alternate is in fact Satan by some of the captions in the videos if you have closed captions turned on. Quote, 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no wonder, for Satan disguises himself as the angel of light. The alternates have been on Earth and terrorizing the human population since at least the birth of Jesus. As suggested by the title with a bit of wordplay, the Overthrown video asserts that Jesus has indeed been overthrown. and was possibly even substituted by an alternate, with an evil being now sitting on the throne.
God's probably not even looking. Oh, go ahead.
Of course, this would be horrifying for any religious person to find out. No one is safe from being attacked and replaced by an alternate, even holy figures like angels and Jesus. For many people, religion is what grounds them, and if the followers of a religion, especially one as big as Christianity, knew it was all a lie, and even worse, run by Satan, it would destroy them. Now that I've covered all the topics of the series and the style in which it was made, let's go back to the main question of this video and why I spent this time dissecting all of this. I saw all these reactions online and thought, why is the Mandela Catalog so scary and fascinating? Regarding the stories told to us, each of these storylines highlights a different fear, but they're still all connected. For the alternates, you no longer know who you can trust. For the intruder, you no longer feel safe in your own home. And for the story of the false prophet, you now question your own beliefs and the meaning of yourself and the world around you. Isolation, uncertainty, and meaninglessness. You lose your faith in others, your home, yourself, and the world as you once knew it. As intended by Kister, all these can relate to our experiences in quarantine. These fears are timely and relevant to our current situation, even if we don't necessarily pick up on that the first time we watch the series. We are familiar with these fears, just as we are familiar with the analog style in which these stories are presented to us. The VHS cable television feel to the series, mixed with the dash cam and handheld footage, helps make what we're watching seem more personal and intimate. We are interacting with them just as the characters in this series would be. We are watching these videos as we sit on our own couch, in our own home, trapped with nowhere to go, just like them. The Mandela Catalog is a great blend of both style and substance, with mood-setting art direction in the pre-digital style and menacing sound design. I have a gift for you. Combined with stories infused with deeply psychological and metaphysical fears, this story has piqued our interests, haunted our dreams, and taken over the YouTube space, most likely inspiring future creators. What this series also shows us is that a lack of budget or equipment is not enough to keep our creativity down and stop it from entertaining millions across the globe. Well, thank you for joining me on my first real YouTube video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I hope to eventually show my face on camera once I get more comfortable making videos. But for now, you can call me Bree, and thanks for watching.